Hello students, welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. Today basically we have to discuss the chapter number 14, that is ethics, a holistic approach. As all of you are already aware that IABF basically conducts the certification course exam in the physical mode. Earlier basically they are conducting only in the remote proctored mode, that is in the online. Now they are conducting also in the physical mode. Clear? So this is one of the topic and this is one of the subject regarding the certificate course, that is ethics. And from that basically we will cover complete course. This is one of the topic, that is chapter number 14 part 1, that is a holistic approach regarding the ethics. So now let's start this chapter. Basically we will cover in 4 parts. This is the first part. So now let's start our discussion. Basically we will provide you the JAB, CAB and promotion exam courses also regarding the same. Please go through this slide for the detailed explanation of all the courses. So now let's start our session. Sources of the ethical norms. Clear? So what are the sources of the ethical norms and what we have to do under that? So society evolves, that is society develops over time, and so would our culture, of which values and ethics are integral parts. Clear? Please remember that. Societies, we know that basically evolve over time or develop over time, and which are the integral part of the society, that is value and ethics are the integral parts of the society. There is a need to understand the major changes which have a potential to affect and modify the thinking pattern of persons in the society over the decades or generation. What they are saying that basically time के साथ साथ लोगों की वो क्या सोच रहे हैं उसके ऊपर भी चेंज आता है, मतलब बदल जाती है पहले से. दैट इज देयर इज अ नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द मेजर चेंजेस व्हिच हैव अ पोटेंशियल टू अफेक्ट एंड मॉडिफाई द थिंकिंग पैटर्न्स. क्लियर? व्हाट आर दीज चेंजेस? वो कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं उनके बारे में अभी हम डिस्कस भी करेंगे. थिंकिंग पैटर्न ऑफ पर्सन इन द सोसाइटी ओवर द डेकेड्स और जनरेशंस. एंड वन थिंग आई विल टेल यू, दैट इज kindly go through these sessions very properly, because this is totally theory based topic, and in the examination they will ask directly straightforward questions from the theory. And if you go through these sessions very carefully, that very easily you will score 50 plus marks. Further, these changes have a bearing on their behavior, attitudes in organizations and outside, and towards our work. Clear? What are these changes? Basically this will be seeing on all, at all these places, like on their behavior, attitude in the organization and outside, and towards their work. So now let us try to understand the differences between the ethics and the moral values, and assesses how these are internalized by the persons in a typical context. Clear? So now basically here we have to understand what are the difference basically between the ethics and the moral values. It would become clearer subsequently as how the ethics are likely to vary between the generations. We will also cover regard in this chapter regarding that. Okay, like with the different generation, like age gap, clear how it will be different. So it may be noted that ethics are always in the context of a particular class of human actions or group of people, or refer to a given culture. Clear? So ethics are basically always in the context of a particular class of human actions or a group of people, or refer to a given culture. What are morals? Okay, so that is basically particular class, that is we can say that a group of people. And on the other side, what are morals? Clear? Because starting basically we will discuss that is ethics and morals. So other thing that is ethics, morals. Morals are the principles. Principles basically siddhant, rule, which an individual or a group of individual may believe that these are right or justified or ideal from his or her personal judgment. Clear? So morals are basically the principle which an individual or a group of individuals basically may believe that these are right or justified or ideal from his or her own personal judgment. As far the origin of their emergence is required concerned. Clear? As far the origin of their emergence is concerned, while the ethics are to be external. Clear? Basically how the ethics are to be, basically we can say that basically external. External basically means that from the time passing. Clear? Or from the others, that is emerging from the society at large, or organization, etc. Clear? On the other side, basically morals. What are morals? Basically, morals are the some principles yours in by a person after a lot of thinking on it. Hence, it is to be external. Kindly remember that basically ethics, basically how it is to be merged. That is basically this is to be external, and morals basically it is to be internal. Please remember that. And how the morals principle, that is we have to like do this type of work, clear, or this is right or wrong after a lot of thinking regarding the same. So as far as the purpose is concerned, society or organization endorses such behavior while it gives immense personal satisfaction and fulfillment to the individuals who do morally acceptable acts. Okay. Ethics can change or become flexible over time between the contexts. Clear? So ethics can change or become flexible over the time between the context. In case of morals, once a person forms a principle, mostly it remains consistent unless the person alters the belief. Clear? So in case of morals, once a person basically forms a principle, and is like we can say that siddhant, mostly it remains consistent unless the person alters the belief. Clear? Like we can say that basically like if any person doing any this specific type of thing, clear, not like any work, you can say that belief. Clear? That the person specifically believes in that thing till that time when anything happens regarding the same, so that he cannot trust further that thing. Clear? Or he not believe under that. Clear? That is, it remains consistent until the person alters a belief. Clear? All these things regarding the ethics. So kindly remember that. Basically, what are morals? Basically, morals are the principles which are individual or a group of individual basically may believe that they are right or justified or ideal from his or her personal judgment. And on the other side, basically ethics, basically it is regarding a particular class of human actions or a group of people or refer to a given culture. Now move to the next point. What are the sources of the ethical norms? Very, very important. So how these norms are basically ethical things are to be generated in any human, clear or merged. So norms are the expectations. What are norms? Norms basically are the expectations of a proper behavior and not the requirement of it as such. Clear? So what are norms? Basically, norms are the expectations of a proper behavior and not the requirement of it as such. Norms are basically informal, normal, social or ethical behavior. Clear? Norms are basically informal, normal, social or ethical behavior in a particular society or a group. So let us see some of the major factors that shape up ethical norms to get formed or undergo a change. So what are these factors? First one, family. In the examination, they will ask also how many these factors. Total it will be 9. Family, friends. FF, family, friends. Co-employees, basically working in your organization. Profession. Employer, your company. Your religion, dharam. Region, your area. Your law, your society. Okay. So family, friends, co-employees, employees basically that you are in the organization, employer, profession, reason, law, society. So now let's discuss one by one all of these things. First one here, that is to be the family. So what is that? If first person first observes his or her family members like parents, grandparents, and other elders in a nuclear or joint family, as the case may be, and forms a viewpoint on the core values and morals. Clear? And forms a viewpoint. A few of them are integrity, credibility, truthfulness, responsibility, fairness, respect for the elders, dignity, etc. Clear? All these things. Clear? So first thing, that is family. What the person basically learns from, that is basically from where? From her parents, his or her parents, grandparents, and other elders. Nuclear, that is single family like mother, father's children. Joint family, like we can say that uncle, aunt, all are also included. Uncle, aunt basically chacha, chachi, taya, tai. Okay, so next one, that is family based business. So family based business basically are a great example for their success. Although beyond first three generations, many family business basically failed world over. Okay, so in this context, for their success in this context, as how their family values help influencing the employees and the workplace. Some families basically set a wrong example on a person from the very childhood on account of the poor value system, which makes the children to take many of the things as acceptable. Clear? So it depends upon family to family. Like earlier, they are saying also that basically family businesses, most of the time basically it is a failure here. Why? Because everyone see that basically now we are in the age of 25, 26, or we can say that we are going developing ourselves and we will do our business separately. Clear? This is the thing basically they are trying to say here. Next one, that is family, after that friends. This is the sources. Friends basically exposure to a group of close friends has its own positive or adverse effect, adverse negative, on an individual in farming up the moral values and ethics. Some statements or disclosures by the friends is taken on its face value, and the children in the formative age of their personality form strong opinions that are hard to change as they grow up into adults. Okay, so exposure to a group of close friends has its own positive or adverse effect. Clear? So some statements or disclosure basically by the friends is taken on its face value. And the children in the formative age of their personality, basically like we can say that they are trying to developing itself. Yeah? What they are seeing basically from their friends, like you will also see that many of the friends basically take up their good habits and also bad habits basically from their friends also. Clear? Formative age of their personality form strong opinions that are hard to change as they grow up into adults. At times, simply for quick recognition or gaining popularity in a group, youngsters might like something and others might believe in it and would like to follow the same unsuspectingly, which may make the followers to face troubles in the future. Clear? Basically, which may make the followers to face trouble in the future. Alternatively, good values such as hard work, straightforwardness, perseverance, etc., may build a strong zeal and encourage and eventually contribute some children to become highly successful in the studies, career, and even in the life. Okay. So, alternatively, basically, good values such as hard work, straightforwardness, perseverance, all these things basically may build a strong zeal and encourage and eventually contribute some children to become highly successful basically in the studies, careers, and even in the life. Career and even in the life. Third one, that is co-employees. Clear, like we can say that in your organization, you will also learn from your colleagues also. So great organizations are differentiated from the ordinary ones, not merely on the account of their financial and business related achievements, but also on their value system. So these organizations or those organizations that have shown enough care in selecting employees in the formative years after they were founded, those individual employees by virtue of their personal values and conduct influence the other employees. Okay. Those organizations basically that have shown enough care in selecting employees in the formative years, clear in the starting years, after they were founded, those individual employees, by virtue of their personal values and conduct, influence the other employees. So this would lead to a chain reaction, and one day the entire organization transform itself into a value-driven organization, ensuring not merely desirable business results, but results in the much needed goodwill and reputation. Okay. So not only we can see that basically we will get good results basically, but much needed goodwill and the reputation also in the market. Clear? There the organization basically will get with the passage of the time and their behavior towards their employees. Okay. And also the behavior of the employees towards the organization. Clear? Both the things basically will lead to the development. Next one, that is the profession. Several professions like law, teaching and research, banking and insurance, auditing, medicine, journalism, information technology, armed forces, bureaucracy, etc., require highest ethical standards. Clear? Because with the help of these things, you are also guiding the other generations or other people in the society. Knowingly, a professional cannot be expected to compromise on some values of the honesty and integrity, confidentiality, empathy, lawful behavior, loyalty, etc. They're like law teaching. Like basically, if the teacher is asking their students to not do the good things, clear. So how the society basically will do clear because the profession of the teacher is to guide the generation in a good side. Okay. So those persons who follow these make the profession the reverse revered one. Society exhibits a great respect while it deals with the person engaged in such great services which have immense contribution to the well-being of the people at large. Clear, basically to the well-being of the people at large to be here. This is the profession. How it affects the society. All these are the norms of ethics, sources of the ethical norms. Next one, that is the employer. That is basically your organization, basically where you are working. Employers have an influence on the ethics of the employees and other stakeholders. As was covered earlier in this book, basically in the context of ethical leadership, moral, amoral, and immoral leadership styles have different influences. Kindly remember that moral. If anyone knows basically what is the difference between moral, amoral, and immoral, leadership styles basically have different influence on the employees in adopting different ethical principles. So the moral leadership, which not only follows highest ethical standards personally, but strongly supports and defends their subordinates and equally strongly ensures unethical employees are given deserving punishment, promote ethical conduct among the employees. Clear? So basically, what is the highest ethical standard? That is moral leadership. Clear? Basically, what they will do, basically, personally follows highest ethical standards personally, but also strongly supports and defends their subordinates and equally strongly ensures unethical employees are given deserving punishment, which are not ethical or doing ethical work, not doing ethical work, they will deserving punishment, promote ethical conduct among all the employees. Clear? So vice versa is true in case of immoral leadership, while a moral leadership leaves the choice of being ethical to the employee themselves. Clear? So a moral, that is basically it depends upon the employee. Clear? Leaves the choice of being ethical to the employees themselves. Clear? It depends upon them. Next one, that is the religion. Reason. All the religions which have been embraced by humankind over thousands of years now preach ideals like their guru, ethics and moral values that are universal in nature and do not harm any one group of individuals while making others observing them. Examples included truth, forgiveness, harmlessness, respecting all human beings, hope, compassion, etc. All human beings, basically irrespective of their religion, they belong to, can cooperate basically with each other and contribute to make societies, basically they live it ethically strong, which in turn help all of them. Clear? To contribute to making societies, they live in ethical strong, which in turn help all of them. In order that a person remains ethical bound and morally strong all through his personal and professional life, he or she need not to be religious. Okay, he or she basically through his personal and professional life, he or she, clear, like in the profession, because they have to be deal with all kinds of the religions. However, if a person needs to be accepted by the religion he belongs, if it is expected that he remains ethical, clear, he remains to be ethical. That is basically we can say that their behavior towards the generation, basically towards the society, it is to be ethical. It is to be good behavior. Not we consider like promoting his only religion or giving bad comments about the other reasons. Clear? This is not like that. Now, next one, that is law. I think I will skip one point, that is reason. 1 or 2 points, I think I am not able. Reason and society, I think I am. Wait, I will. Yes, 2 points I will. So here, ethics are to be external, internal, both external and internal, neither external nor internal. So please tell fast. We have already discussed. Clear? Two things, like one is ethics, second one that is morals. Morals we already discussed, that is it develops over the time and over the thinking. Clear? That is it is to be internal. And ethics basically that is external, like we have also discussed, like profession, religion, reason. Clear? Basically how the external factors are to be placed here. So ethics has to be external. So between the two, that is morals and ethics, that is relatively flexible. Ethics, morals, both are equally flexible, both are equally inflexible. So this question I will left for you. Please go through this question and try to answer that. We have already covered both the things. Clear? So ethics can change or become flexible over time between the context. Clear? On the other side, morals are not. Clear? Morals, once a person forms a principle, mostly it remains constant. Clear? So what will be the answer? I will again explain. That is between the two. Ethics are to be little bit flexible over the morals. Clear? These questions directly you will find in the examination. You will see that basically when you are sitting in the examination, these questions. Clear? How the question will be formed here? Very typically they will form the question. Clear? That is totally theory based. Last point, that is law. In all countries that respect to the rule of law, lawmakers like the parliament, members of parliament in India, like MPs, member of parliament, formulate and make laws that are made as act. Clear? Basically, when the law is to be passed, then it is to make as act. Clear? Then it is acted as act. Or we can say that like कानून बन जाता है. पहले it is like a piece of paper, and after that it becomes a. So these acts are then enforced by the law, subject to technical scrutiny for their legality and constitutional validity. Once notified, all these laws must be followed by the concerned, or failing basically. Clear? Basically, when any act is to be formed, it is to be followed by all. And if they are not able to follow, clear, basically failing which, there will be fines and penalties or even imprisonment. Clear? Basically failing which, there will be fines or penalties or even imprisonment, depending upon the seriousness of the offense. Ethics are to be the principles intended to guide people on a right path, which are not binding in the strict sense like the law. Clear? Basically, ethics, basically, journey, it is the principles to guide the people to go on the right path or to follow the right path. Clear? We cannot say that basically every time basically we have to follow that. Clear? Whether it is to be right or wrong. Clear? Just this is the thing. Like not, it is not that much strict sense like the law. Violation of which do not carry any punishment. Like if you are not following your ethics, so it will not lead to any punishment basically. But if you are not following the law, if you are going the reverse as per the law, you will be get punishment. So laws are to be created basically from local level to the state level to the national and international levels. Ethics are to be governed by the norms set by the individuals, organizations, community, society, etc. Okay. So hope all of you are able to understand regarding the norms or the sources of the norms or ethical norms. So please tell fast if anyone has any doubt or query. Basically, two left. Basically, that is reason and society. I will go through once and will discuss. Clear? Hope it you are able to understand. And we are also covered two questions on the same. In the next session, basically, we will discuss that is generation difference in the ethics and what are generation X, generation Y, or millennials. All these things we will cover in the next session. Definitely, what we have discussed up to this much point, you will get one question. Clear? Out of 100 marks, you will have to get 50 plus marks. Clear? To clear the examination, and this type of the examination basically will add the incentive in some of the banks. Clear? So I request to all of you, kindly fill all these papers and get the incentive and certificate also with respect to the passage of time. That will help you in your career. So thanks to all of you for joining this session, and if you like the content, please press the like button and share the video with your friends also. So please be updated for all the sessions. Contact with us for all the sessions.